Good morning. I'm just gonna quickly check if this thing is live. Yeah. Awesome. Good morning again. Welcome to Sunday Morning Movement. I'm your host, Imran Ghani, and this is BP Harmony's weekly get-together where we as a community that is either suffering from or knows someone going through the acute phases of bipolar disorder, we come together to ground ourselves, to feel a sense of community, to feel a sense of shared experience, and moving our bodies for the purpose of uh, bringing calmness to the mind. Bipolar disorder is often characterized by unstable states of mind, vacillating rapidly between high states known as mania, hypomania, even things like euphoria, and then in the extreme phases, things like psychosis, delusional thinking, thoughts of grandeur, and then vacillating to kind of the equal opposite end of the marshy waters known as depression. And depression manifests in, at least clinical depression, manifests in numerous ways. It can come up as a complete loss of appetite for anything in life, a difficulty to get out of bed, more physical symptoms of physical weakness, brain fog, not being able to think clearly and feeling like there is some kind of fogginess in the mind, that you're inside your body, but you're distant from the external experience. And some people have described clinical depression to me as being a loss of complete emotion, feeling nothing. And that's what I've found, is that the experience of depression is personal and deeply internal and difficult to describe in the pages of a book or in an audio. But everyone's clinical depression has some salient features that are common and some that are unique to them. So for today's practice, because we are heading into the winter season and many people experience what is known as affective mood disorder, or seasonal depression as it's known more commonly, I wanted to do a series of yin yoga poses that are energizing, that elevate the mood, that and they are in the form of hip openers and heart openers. So if you're diving deep into the world of yoga, know that any position that opens up the chest, that opens up the heart, is energizing. It's something that lifts the mood. In addition to heart openers, I wanted to offer an alternative way of thinking about seasonal depression, especially seasonal depression for bipolar patients. Bipolar depression is, for me, a deep sinking feeling, the inability to get out of bed, to not be as sharp as I was because there might be some effect of a medication, or I'm just not feeling like I have energy. So I wanted to propose an alternative way to think about seasonal depression. What if, just like, I used to be a farmer, so I often think in terms of seasons and plants, and on the farm, plants are highly productive in the spring season, in the summer season, and in the fall season. However, in the winter season, when it's cold, the farmer lets his or her field rest. Number one, it's too cold, it's not going to be productive, but it's important to let the soil rest and recover its nutrients, its microbes, and its fungal networks. All of those things need time to rest and recover. And then the farmer can come back in the spring season and return to a place of high productivity. And studies have shown that farmers that do not give their fields the rest in the winter season, it's proven now that the crop will not do as well in the planting and the harvesting season because that necessary time for rest was not given. So if we were to take the same approach to the human body, I think, and the alternative view that I wanted to propose is that perhaps evolutionarily, our bodies are designed to go into a state of rest during the winter season. When it's colder, we sleep better. When there's less sun, we feel less energy. And there's just something about the distance from the sun and the less time that we get with the sunlight that we're not able to feel energized, and so a lot of people feel their mood is down. But how about looking at it as if this is the time where innately we are designed to, whether you believe in a God or not, innately we are designed to rest in this season so that we can be more productive in the spring, summer, and fall seasons. The term seasonal depression presupposes a context in which we are always productive. So the alternative that I am living by right now and that I am proposing to you all is that maybe, just maybe, this seasonal depression is our body going into a state that is good for us. That not to have a negative relationship with it, but to say, hey body, I think you're telling me to slow down. I think you're telling me to take it easy. I think you're telling me to be like the farmer and to let my body, my field, rest for the winter season so that it can do all of the rejuvenation, the recovery, the healing, both physical and emotional. And you know, it reminds me, and I've mentioned this so many times, that there's an interview by Jim Carrey who said that one of his therapists told him that you are depressed because your body is in need of deep rest. In other words, your body is saying, enough is enough, I'm shutting you down, and I'm going to force you into a state where you are not as busy, that you are not abusing your sleep, that you're not working crazy hours, that you're not taking all sorts of stress, because it's not sustainable. And so I've learned with this view that in this month of December, I am not doing intensive workouts. I am not doing like weightlifting. I am not, and you know, to each their own, but with this view of, hey, this is a season of rest, of contemplation, of reflection. I have a more positive relationship with the seasonal blues, as they say. And with this, when I am in a state of rest, I become in a state of contemplation. And when I'm in a state of contemplation, I'm able to go deep inside and think about the events of the past that may be causing me pain, that may be causing me regret, that may be causing me to be guilty, and then to resolve to heal that pain, either by forgiving myself, forgiving others, or if I've wronged someone, to swallow my ego and to go and apologize to them and to make up for whatever wrong that I have committed. So with that being said, let's go ahead and start to move our bodies, again with the mindset that this is a time of rest and recovery. And for that reason, I've titled this video Yin Yoga for Bipolar Depression. Yin Yoga, as I mentioned last week, is in the West become a form of yoga where it is restorative, where one stays in a position for 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 10 minutes, and stays there for a long period, and allows gravity to create space in the body, to create opening in the body, and allows for the mind to come to a place of rest, to a place of stability. So during today's yin yoga poses, we are going to repeat the mantra while we inhale and exhale. I know that I am inhaling, I know I am exhaling. So when we inhale, I know I am inhaling, and when we exhale, I know I am exhaling. I've learned this mantra from the late Zen Buddhist monk Thich Nhat Hanh, and I found it to be a useful way when we are bombarded by thoughts to return to the breath and return our awareness simply to our inhale and to our exhale. So let's begin. We're going to do a series of yin yoga poses, but just like last week, we're going to fire up our core. We're going to create some heat in our body, get our blood flowing, and that will facilitate the opening of the body. And this is well established in modern physiology, that you don't want to stretch cold. You kind of want to warm up a little bit, get the muscles flexed, get the blood pumping, and the lungs breathing, and that facilitates the opening of the muscles. So what we're going to do, just like last week, is we're going to do a series of 100 squats. Now, if you can't do 100, that's okay. Go for 50. If you can't do 50, go for 30. If you can't do 30, go for 15 or 10. Wherever you are in your physical fitness, whatever gets your heart pumping and generates some heat in the hips and in the lungs. So I'm going to stand in mountain pose. I'm going to widen my legs about 15 to 30 degrees to splay them, and then I'm going to widen them a little bit broader than my hips. And from here, we'll begin with 100 squats. 1, whoops, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 15. reduce my squats to 50. $35, $36, $37, $38, $39, $40. $48, $49, and $50. Okay. I think I've got my lungs pumping, generated some heat in my legs, and I remembered that I have a pickleball tournament later today, so I'm going to need some energy in my legs. That didn't want to go too intense. But if you want to continue, please do so. You can pause the video and continue your squats and join us later. Okay. So I'm going to come into easy pose or half lotus with my left foot on top of my right thigh. I'm going to take a deep inhale with my nose, raise my hands, and exhale to the left. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and 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 exhale. All right. So I have my left foot on top, and so I'm going to cross my arms as follows. Just watch first. I'm going to cross, and because my left foot is on top, my right hand is going to go on top, and I'm going to crisscross my elbows. I'm going to raise my hands, and then I'm going to, with my left hand, grab the palm of my right hand. You kind of straighten the back. Feel the opening up of the back. Take a deep inhale. And from here, I'm going to forward fold. And in the forward fold, I'm going to stay for a good 2 minutes to 3 minutes. So inhale and exhale, forward fold. Allow gravity to do the work in creating space. Let go of the weight of the head. And remember the mantra for today. I know that I'm inhaling. I know that I'm exhaling. Come back up, slowly unwind the arms. And we'll switch our legs. This time going into half lotus with the right foot on top. Now when we say to ourselves, I know that I'm inhaling, I know that I'm exhaling, we bring ourselves to the present moment. We are not worried about the future, and we're not concerned about the past. And when we become in the present, when we come into the present, and we stay in the present, one begins to feel joy. And so it may seem like a trivial exercise to repeat a mantra saying, I know that I'm inhaling, I know that I'm exhaling. But the idea is to give the brain, the mind, a rest. And by just staying present with the breath, our mind is not moving a million miles an hour from the past to the future and all these imaginary timelines about the future. And replaying negative memories from the past. So if you find yourself in these yin poses, thinking about the future or the past, reel yourself back to the mantra, reel yourself back to the breath for the purpose of giving your mind rest, while also opening up the body, creating space. And so now, because our right foot is on top, I'm going to bring my left hand on top, crisscross. I'm going to raise my hands, and with my right hand this time, I'm going to grab hold of my left palm. Kind of feel the opening in my scapula, in my back, straighten the back. Take a deep inhale and exhale. We're going to forward fold again. This time also we will hang out for a good 2-3 minutes. So take a deep inhale and exhale, forward fold. Let go of the weight of the head. slowly come back up. Unwind the arms. Take a deep inhale and raise the hands. And exhale, bring the hands back down. Okay. We're going to extend our legs. Try to create a 90-degree angle with our feet, but if we can't do this much, it's okay to bring your legs in. Try to extend them to a 90-degree angle. I'm going to grab, I'm going to come back a little. I'm going to grab my left toe, and from here I'm going to stretch my legs, my groin muscle, but I'm also going to do a heart opener by looking up and dropping the weight of my hand to the top right. Open up my chest, and my arm, I should be able to see the left, meaning when I look up, my arm should be on the right side, not on the left, but try to open up this chest right here. And we're gonna hang out here for a good 30 seconds. Let the weight of your head come down. And we'll come back. Ooh, that was a little challenging. I'll grab my right hand with my right toe, my right big toe with my left hand. And from here, I'll raise my hand up, really opening up these intercostal muscles, turning the chest upward to the sky as much as possible. And letting gravity do the work. And we come back to the center. And from here, I'm going to take a deep inhale, raise my hands, inhale up. And exhale with a straight back, forward fold. And we'll come back to the mantra. I know that I'm inhaling. I know that I'm exhaling. You can raise your palms to the sky. That helps bring down the weight. Let go of the weight of your head. And notice the space that's being created. Notice your body slowly opening up. I know that I'm inhaling. I know that I'm exhaling. I know that I'm breathing. Thoughts might come as you are stretching. Oh, I'm so tight. Oh, I'm so out of shape. Suspend judgment. And simply return to the breath and observe without judgment. You come back up slowly. And from here, we're going to bring our feet together into cobbler's pose. Open up our feet like a book. And from here, straighten our back. Take a deep inhale. I'm going to turn to the side. Straighten the back. Take a deep inhale and forward fold. Come to a place that's comfortably edgy, but not painful. We don't want to injure ourselves. But you'll be surprised. With some time and the slow work of gravity, your muscles will open up. You can keep your hands and your toes the way I have, or you can also extend your hands out with your palms facing upward and return to the breath. I know that I am inhaling. I know that I am exhaling. Let go of all weight in your head. Let go of tension in the jaw and the face.
can put the video on fast forward and you'll notice that over time my body is getting lower and lower to the ground. So you can see it in real time how just by gravity, putting your body in the position, gravity can really open you up. It doesn't just have to bring you down. And I will slowly come back up. Feels wonderful. All right, I'm gonna come onto my knees and my hands, and we'll do some cat-cows. I'll put the tops of my feet facing the ground. I'm going to raise my tailbone, drop my stomach, shine my chest upward, look up, and then exhale, drop the tailbone, arch the spine, drop my neck. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. I'm gonna widen my feet, widen my knees, touch my feet, send my hips back, and we're going to hang out in child's pose. Before I sink down one last into this pose, just a reminder to bring the awareness to the breath. I know that I'm inhaling. I know that I'm exhaling. Slowly come back up. And now what we're going to do is we'll do kind of the opposite movement where we'll send our hips forward. And if keeping the hands like this is too intense, I'm going to make sure I'm still in the camera frame. If this is too intense, then you can come down and hang out right here on your elbows. So I'm going to scoot over, make sure I'm still in the camera frame. And with my forearms, just hang out here and create a nice hard opening, stretching the stomach muscles. And just hanging out here, relieving tension in the neck, and act as if your head is afloat on water. And we'll just hang out here. I'm going to return to the King Cobra, but you can hang out here if this one is too intense. But if you'd like to join me, you're welcome to do so. We'll hang out here for a good 2 minutes. Sometimes I feel like rolling my neck around. I feel like this is a good time to do it. And, ooh, come back. From here, we'll return to the mat. And we've come to the end of our practice today. And we'll just spend the last 3 minutes performing a scan of our body and see if it's in any way different from how it was in the beginning. So you are welcome to lie down on your back or sit up the way I am and close your eyes. Take your awareness to the crown of your head. If it helps to locate the crown of the head, you can just touch it like this and you'll feel the sensation. You can take your awareness there. From there, slowly bring your awareness down to your forehead, your temples, down to your ears and your eyes, your nose, your lips, your jaw, and your throat. Now that I've guided you from the crown of your head to your throat, go ahead on your own. Take yourself down from the throat all the way down to your toes and simply observe.
Once you've reached the bottom of your toes, of your feet, open your eyes. If you haven't, take your time. If you're lying down, lean over to your right side and push yourself up with your left hand. Come back up. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. Yin Yoga for bipolar depression, marinating it with this concept of winter might be a time for rest and recovery, and to have a positive relationship with our bodies going into a state of lower energy. It's something that it's doing for the purpose of regulating our body, healing those things that we may have damaged throughout the busyness of the year, and getting ready for the next year. I'm so grateful that so many of you have messaged me and joined me. It validates the need for something like this, and I knew I could have benefited from this 4 years ago when I was first diagnosed, and thinking that I would be on medication for the rest of my life and not knowing if I would live fully again. My message to you is, it does get better. Recovery is possible. Even getting off of medication under the guidance of a doctor is possible. I was able to do it. It's hard work, but with commitment, with time, the body does heal. Commitment, love, prayer, all of these things come together in a wonderful way. And keep the hope. And if you feel a sense of connection with my channel, follow me on this YouTube channel, on my Instagram, also on my website, bpharmony.com. I've written a book called The 5 Pillars of Bipolar Recovery, where I talk about my own journey of how I integrated sleep, nutrition, movement, mindfulness, and community to help me come to a place where I was on several medications and completely in a vegetative state on my bed, to now living fully again. I'm a business owner. I've written a book. I live fully, and I am completely off of medication. Often when many people in the medical world would tell me that it was impossible and that I would be on psych meds for the rest of my life, if I can get off of it, then I am inclined to believe that many people who are also told that they have to be on meds for the rest of my life, I'm inclined to believe that it is possible. I always say that find a psychiatrist who's supportive of getting off of medication and doing it under their guidance, because it's difficult to do so, but it's not impossible. So thank you so much, and I'll see you next week.